Hi guys. Hi guys. Hi. Is anybody there? Yeah, are you guys there? And my son is saying make it public. Okay. And yeah. Hi guys. Okay. Yeah, good evening. Hi. It's so great to be here. And it's so strange also. Because it's my first time coming live on FB. It's a experience by itself for me. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. Hello and namaskar to everybody. Firstly, I would like to thank Mridula for making me a part of this lovely forum. Thank you, Mridula, for giving me this experience. Can everybody hear me? Am I loud enough? Hi, Sunana. Hi, Minnie. Am I loud enough? Give me a yes in case I'm loud enough before I proceed further. Can you hear me? Am I loud enough? Okay, good. Thank you, Arvinda. Thank you so much, Mridula. Thank you, Radha, for giving me this opportunity. Thank you. Sunana, hi. It's so lovely to be here. Hi, Minnie. Hi. Okay. Uh, one more time, I would like to thank Mridula for giving me this opportunity. Thank you so much, Mridula. I'll give a small introduction about myself. I'm Poonam Kalra. I work as a therapist, healer, and a life coach. And I have been working with the mental health program since 2011 2012. And how my journey started was I initially started working with an NGO on a helpline. And on this helpline, we used to deal with high distress callers and suicidal people who were more inclined to self-harming. So in this, on the helpline, all walks of, all kind of people used to be there, young, old, from all walks of life. Often when I used to hear these people, I could reflect as to what kind of patterns are made in mind. Hi Gaurav. Hi. So when I used to hear these distress calls on the helpline, I used to reflect as to how small things become so big in mind. And a lot of these also reminded me of, like, I also go through them. I also make small things so big sometimes in the relationship. And some of the patterns were so glaring that how we distort the issues in our life, small happenings in our life, little bit of relationship. Hi Supriya. Hi. So it's so often they used to glare back into my face, like that small issues become so big in our mind, how we distort them. And this is going to be a discussion of today also. Um, do, while during this journey of me working with this helpline, I started observing and becoming more and more indulging myself into understanding the pattern of mind. In fact, I used to be surrounded by psychologists who used to come for the internship in this organization. I decided to study further. And initially, I started working as a counselor and a cognitive therapist. And cognitive therapy is a talking therapy. And later, I trained myself with more effective therapies, like which used to deal with deeper patterns and at a subconscious level, are much more effective in healing deeper issues and balancing energies in us. They are much more effective and work much faster. For knowing more about myself, you can visit my website, which is explorethyself.in, ETHYSELF.in. And there you'll come to know more about the other therapies which I do. But let's go into what today's topic is. We have decided upon power of healing our emotions. It's actually so simple but yet so valuable as to what I'm going to share with you today. I ask you guys, when you are stressed, angry, anxious, what happens to you? What do you go through? Is there something which happens, some kind of a sensation which you feel in your body? Are there any signals? I would like you to share this information with me before I proceed further. I'll wait for your answers. I hope, is anybody would like to react on this? I asked you, when you anger, anxiety, stress, what happens in your body? Is there some kind of a sign or signal? I'll wait for your answer. Let some of you come and give me some kind of a answer to this. When you get angry, what happens in your body? Yes, Minnie says headache and negative feelings, correct. sensation, Supriya, yeah. Each individual will have different kind of reactions in the body. Okay, feeling helpless if cannot resolve. There is a sensation on the neck and mind. Okay, negative emotions. Yeah. I'm looking for the reactions in the body. What happens in the body when you are going through negative emotions? Hi, Bhavna. My palms start sweating, irritation and negative feelings. Okay. Yes. Some more information in case somebody wants to give as to what happens. What is the sensation which you feel in your body? Headache, irritability, fabulous, Anandita. Anybody else would like to share? Heaviness, very nice, yeah. Energy drench, yes. Siddharth, yes. Yeah, hi Siddharth. Yeah. Anybody else would like to give some more information? Getting irritated. But what happens to the body? What happens? What are the sensations get connected to? Okay, so some information has come in. So now whatever I'm going to discuss, okay, Nishu gets a sinking sensation. Okay. Now there are 3 steps involved. The topic which is under discussion today. There are irritated, drowsiness, Nilima, okay. Body tense, Bhavna, okay. Maybe heated up, okay. Okay, yes. So you see there are so many different kind of a sensation people shared. Drained energy, keep quiet, okay. So we have restlessness. So there are some people who will get the headache, some people will get the heaviness, some people feel the dizziness, there's a irritation, energy drainage, there is a heaviness. So something which is happening in mind, a body shaking, Sapna, fabulous, wonderful. So whatever is happening in the mind, you see there is a body which is also giving you a signal. Feel blood flowing fast. Okay, wonderful. And Parnika says acne outbreak. Okay, yes, stress is related to that also, the negative emotions. So here I'm trying to establish how things which are culminating or happening in mind have a direct impact in the body. Now today's topic, which we have taken, power of healing your emotion, it has 3 steps. First is how patterns are formed. Let's look into that. Because once you recognize that, then only we can proceed to the next level. The second is how to identify that something is happening to us. Third, how to resolve it. So the first point is how the patterns are formed. Now I would like you to be very attentive to this, because the entire conversation after this is going to resolve around this. First, somebody say something to us. Somebody gets angry or say something bad to us. I feel something and the thoughts get generated. Those thoughts culminate into emotions. Those emotions get connected to the sensations. They produce the physiological signs which you all have shared. these physiological signs respond as by us. We become angry, irritated, quiet, cooped up, or some other kind of outbursts. Like people may go in for shopping and maybe just go out for some kind of indulgence. Some people may just smoke or drink. So those are our reactions. Now, there was a stimulus. After that, there was a thought. After the thought, emotions. And then there's a physiological. Your body is reacting to it. The reactions which you have shared. And after that, there's an outburst, some kind of a reaction, which as an outcome of it. And that reaction, when we continue to repeat this pattern again and again, this pattern becomes a belief. Now, I'll tell you about this through an example. Suppose the first time I am sitting with a group of my friends and they all are smoking. So they tell me, why don't you also pick up a smoke? And my internal, there is a sort of I'll say a sound from deep inside, or my body is telling me, no, this is not a right way it's not a right path to go on. But my friends say, it's okay, एक ही तो ले रहे हो, कुछ हो थोड़ी ना जाएगा, this will not become a habit, it's just for today. Okay, I pick up a smoke, have it, and feel good, but my body is saying, no, this is not right, and I tell my body, it's okay, I'm just having it for once. Next time again, the same situation happens. My friends are smoking. They tell me, okay, aaj pee le. Nahi, I say no. Last time you guys said that this is the only time, and I told myself this is the only time I'm going to have. So I don't want to have it this time. But then friends still push you. And then again, my body is telling me, no, this is a wrong lane to go. But I tell my body, it's okay. I'm just taking it one more time. This will not become a habit. And I I again pick up a smoke and have. Now slowly, when this routine continues, after some time, because I'm not listening to my body, I'm not listening to this inner voice of mine, I am just every time shutting it down, giving it some kind of an explanation. After some time, this body will stop telling me. Now it is going to be, I'm in a gathering, my friends are smoking, I feel the urge, I pick up and I just smoke. I stop listening, my body stops telling me. Now, in this pattern also, if you see, when there is a stimulus or somebody gets angry at me or somebody hurts me, there is a thought. That thought becomes an emotion, and then it culminates into the physical sensation, like heaviness or some kind of a pain. There may be a knotting in the stomach, or there may be a shoulder which might become heavy, or the neck start hurting, or you may get a headache. Now that eventually, that after physical sign, I will also react. Reaction become, when it keeps on, we keep on repeating it, it becomes a belief and it becomes a pattern in us. It becomes a new pattern, like a skill in us. It's a behavior, embedment of a new behavior in us. So now also I will draw your attention that something which we keep on repeating, it not only becomes a belief, it actually becomes a future also. Because in case I keep reacting through the emotion, whatever I'm going to do my outcome is going to be through that emotion, and which is not going to be a very sound decision making feature. But that's my behavior now, and that eventually will reflect on what I do, how I react, how I think about the decisions I make. Like, it will become me. It will become my behavior. It will become a part of me. Like Buddha also says, what you think, you become. So thoughts, what if you keep on repeating this pattern, it becomes you. So now, these thoughts, they are producing a physical signal that we all have agreed upon. Your body is giving this signal to you, this sensation to you, this awareness. In case we become more aware of what is happening to our body, what our body is telling us, if we become more mindful about these body signals, the heaviness, the stress, the pain which you all have shared, there will be also this unharmony. You will not feel at ease. You must become aware of it and check, why is this happening to your body? That's an alarm which your body is giving you. That's a signal which your body is giving you that something is not right. You need to resolve something. So that's a first signal which straight away is coming your way. And how beautiful is that this is an inbuilt system the nature has given us as an alarm, as a warning. This is the dearest friend of ours. This body is the dearest friend of ours, which is actually talking to us, putting us in a right direction, telling us there's something not right, please resolve it. I'm not feeling correct about this. So now befriend this signal in the body, and the more you listen to your body, the more it will talk to you. The more you will become more mindful about it, the more you will connect to it. And now these physiological signal. So first point was how the pattern is formed. The second point was that your body is giving a signal and is telling you to do something about it. So it's directly talking to you. How beautiful is that? Now the third point, as to what to do when my body is telling me to resolve, or is actually talking to me and telling me that things are not right, something has to be done. First thing is, do you feel when you are high with emotions, you should react? Is it going to be a correct way to go? Will it be a correct path to take? Because your mind is restless. There are a lot of emotions coming up. There may be anger, there may be fear. As you mentioned, there may be restlessness. And at that moment, in case I move to the next level of reaction, will it be correct? Because that is going to be produced and layered with the emotions I am going through. It is not going to be from the calmer state of mind. So after you have observed the signal being given by the body, don't react. Don't have there shouldn't be an output. Stop over there and think about it. Let yourself become calmer. Because these bad habits, when you keep continuing to react, they become like a pattern. And these this pattern, in case you keep falling, it becomes like a bad skill in us. That's why some people who get there are people around whom we say that बहुत ही छोटी छोटी बात पे angry होते हैं. Why is it? Because they have been practicing it again and again, and they don't even realize it now, because drop of the hat, they will become angry. So now, how to break this? After your body has given a signal, become aware. After that awareness, don't react. Now, when I don't react, then what do I do? Actually, most of these sensations which are coming up inside us is an indication of something negative happening in us. So our reaction is also going to be negative, which is not going to be a right path to go down. It is not going to mend relationship. It is not going to be a correct decision making. And also, you are learning a new language of wrong patterns. Like the first time, if you decide to learn a language, how do you learn a language? It's like culminating a new skill actually. How do you learn a new language? Initially, you just will learn few words of the language, put them together and make a sentence. You continue to practice, and after some time, it becomes automated in you. Originally my mother tongue is Hindi. So first time when I started learning English, so I initially learnt a few words and then put them together to make a sentence. At home, at school, the parents and the teachers, they used to push us, you have to speak in English, you have to speak in English. We kept on practicing this new language, and over the period of time, English became a part of us. We stopped thinking now when to switch, how to speak in English, because it comes automatically, because we practiced it. So is the negative pattern. So negative pattern also, when you continue to practice, they become a part, internal part, like a new skill embedded in you. So how to form the new skill? The new skill or a new pattern. The new pattern will form when I don't complete the cycle. I don't react. When my body is giving an alarm, I stop there. I do not move to next level, to next step of reaction. And from there, in case I take a U-turn, that will be my new pattern formation. But it is easy. It is not that easy. I understand that. So over here, I would like to share some tips as to how you can calm yourself after your body starts talking to you. Because we've already identified one thing, that the body talks to us. It tells us that things are not correct, so work on it. So when the body is giving that signal, that's a time you can look into as to what happened, what is creating that. So few tips which I'm going to share is, first is, you must act and not react. Action means you are looking into what is the best way I can resolve this. Reaction is layered with the emotions. Action is more sound and concrete. You just step back. This has happened. Now how I can work on this? What are the best possibilities available to me, which are good for me as well as for the relationship or for any other business purposes or whatever for your future. So once you have stepped back and looking into as to what options are available and whether I can take those options. So you have disconnected yourself from your emotions and looking at now what action to take. Now, in fact, in one of the mirrors in my house, I had put this statement: act and not react. Because if my husband says something to me or somebody says something to me, I used to bottle my emotions and I used to keep them inside me, and they used to keep hurting me, which was not a correct way to be. Because these emotions, when I am shoving them, sort of nurturing them for years or days, they eventually, somebody who mentioned there's a drainage of energy. Yes, when these emotions we continue to hold in us, they start eroding us and they come out as psychosomatic issues, or they come out as issues or mental issues. In fact, Ayurveda says 95% of whatever is happening in the body or mind is initially, even in body, initially starts from mind. 95%. So this is the first thing you have to look into. Hello Mamta. Hello Roop. Hello. So that's the first thing you have to you have to take some, you have to act upon it, you have to resolve it and not let it brew inside you, let it not erode you. Because this erosion, nothing is going to happen to the other person. It is only going to make you sick. It is only going to drain you out. It is going to make your life dragging and sort of heavy. The life doesn't remain so light and joyful, because your body continues to feel that heaviness. And the work I do, I work extensively in past life regression and therapies. We see most of the issues are coming either from our childhood, or maybe when we were in the womb of our mother, or somewhere from the past also, they get carried forward. So imagine the impact of the negative emotions, that it has so much of grip in us that it carries on for years, and they continue to erode us and eventually become some kind of a health issues, lifestyle diseases, and much more. Now the tips which I would like to share with you as to how to train your mind into resolving. Firstly, you just look into when somebody has said something to you or something has come forth. First ask the other person what the other person is saying. Is there some network issue somebody is mentioning from my side or their side? Is it smooth? The whole smooth, or is there a break in between? Okay, thank you, Bhavna. Thank you for that. Okay, maybe it's on that side. Okay, good. Okay, so how to resolve these issues? So let me share some insight on this. Firstly, when the other person has said something to you, the first thing is, thank you, Savira. The first thing you must do is look at it whether it is true or not true. Whatever somebody has said something to you, या तो वो ठीक सच्ची बात है या वो सच्ची बात नहीं है. So in case it is true, so you must thank the other person that the other person had brought it to your notice. Okay, and once the other person has brought it to your notice, you should be actually thanking, because now you can work on it. Another thing is, in case it is not true, if it is false, so it should not make any difference. Why should it make any difference? You are not here to prove anything. You are not here to make other people really happy, because your reaction is not going to make anybody happy. So the first tip is, somebody said something is happening in me, the body starts reacting, and just look inside what's happening in my mind. Turmoil I'm in, and look at where that turmoil is coming from. Okay, that person had said something to me, so that's where this turmoil is happening. Okay, that person has said something, so run it in your mind. Is he saying the truth, or she is saying the truth, or it is not true? If it is true, so work on it and let it rest. The other person has noticed something and brought it to your notice, so it's okay. And if it is not true, just drop it. Don't react, because reaction means you are forming a new pattern. That's a wrong lane to go down. Forming new pattern is you are changing your behavior. Second, we all live in duality. So like situations are like something has come forth, or some situation or some stimulus has happened. Now from our side, suppose I take an example. What example to take? Suppose somebody said that you are not looking nice, or you didn't do this right. Now my mind doesn't take it as it has been said. My mind starts adding things to it. My mind adding things means it will add, oh, that person doesn't like me, that person doesn't love me, that person doesn't understand me, he's never for me, he's always criticizing me. Now all this addition was not a part of what was said to us. Who's adding this? It's my mind. It's my mind which adds or subtract something to the situation, and that is how then I take it in me. Now when I have added so much of negative in that, the other person doesn't love me, doesn't understand me, he always thinks, he or she always thinks ill of me. So that whole one small situation has been layered with so much of negative around, and it was all my doing. It wasn't really as the situation exists. It's like I say, we decorate the situation and most of the decoration he uh, I'm no good, he doesn't love me, uh, he insults me all the time, he doesn't take my side, he doesn't, I mean, all this is added by me. Now, this whole situation, if you think about, let's take it. Suppose if most of you are married or not married, think of somebody with whom you feel very irritated. Suppose it may be in laws or the spouse. Suppose spouse said something कि तुम अच्छी नहीं लग रही हो, तो मुझे गुस्सा आया. I'll feel angry. And why am I feeling angry? Because I am adding a lot of this thoughts from my side. Uh, Look, he never likes me. He never appreciates me. He's never given me compliment. So all these things I'm adding. But think of the same situation in case the same thing is said by your son or your mother, the person whom you love or unconditionally. Will you feel the same thing? Will you feel the same thing? Can somebody answer that? If something is being said by one person and the same thing is said by another person, do we feel the same? Is our emotions the same? Is there anybody who would like to answer that? Or you feel for the same sentence you feel different with different people? If it is so, then how does that happen? So then, is it my doing? Because the sentence was the same, which was yeah. So yeah. Yeah. So when somebody mentioned that expectation is different from different people, Mamta said no. Yeah, good, wonderful. I mean, good reactions. Yeah. So how is it different? So why is it different? The sentence which has come our way is the same. How is this different? Is it their doing or my doing? I'll wait for your answers. If my reactions are different for the same sentence coming from different people, so expectations are whose? Built by me? Somebody, Navita said expectations are different. Sovira says the intentions probably. I want you to look into this. And if you can share more insight into this. Same sentence coming my way, some same rude sentence coming my way from different people. Because if the people, Navita says, because if the people doesn't matter, it won't affect us. Okay. No, you take two people who matter to you. Like I have given an example of a husband or an in-laws and a son or a daughter. They both matter to you, but the same negative sentence, you will, Savira say, you will not doubt your mom's intention, but other may not share the same confidence for others. Okay, Gaurav, related differently. Why? Because the sentence is the same. And how is it that you can say that one person's intentions were different than the other? My son or my daughter also said, "You are not looking nice." And my husband also says, "You are not looking nice." So, why is it that? Depending upon the relationship with the person. Correct. It is depending, Minnie, but it is me who's reacting differently, isn't it? So it is somewhere my thought process. It is not the situation. It is not what is said to me. Has that connected with you? दो जनों ने सेम सेंटेंस बोले हैं. नाउ आई एम लुकिंग एट कि मेरा रिलेशनशिप कैसा है, माई एक्सपेक्टेशन कैसी हैं, maybe how we perceive how or what they are saying and thinking. Bhavna, correct? That's fabulous, Bhavna. Okay, now as Bhavna shared, maybe how we perceive. So now how we perceive. So that means I perceived it. It wasn't the other person's doing. So now I have to change my perception. And how does this perception is formed? This perception is, but our experience with each person is different. Why? You are the same person, Savira. You are the same person. Why do you have different experiences with each person? Why is it that your mind is thinking differently about the same situation with different people? So is it that we need to work on ourselves, but perception are based on experiences? So Veera, experiences, look, if the experiences are connected to this perception situation, if this perception is connected to the experiences, but at the same moment I'm perceiving the same thing differently, so my experience should be giving me the same reaction with both the people. Isn't it? In the same moment, my experience can't alter. So, this is where I want to bring it to your notice, this awareness that my perception, as Bhavna had mentioned, firstly, perception is through the belief, the pattern, maybe some expectations. Okay, expectation is whose? It's mine. Am I correct or not? The other person may not even have thought about it. Okay, I'm just saying a plain sentence that you are not looking nice, or this is not suiting you. But I took it differently because in that sentence from my thought, and as I had given a trail of different thought which I have added is, he doesn't like me, he never appreciates me, he doesn't love me anymore, he doesn't he so easily says negative, or every time he says negative, which is very commonly in spouse we says, आपको तो कभी अच्छा नहीं लगेगा, You always see negative in me. So all this is added by me. And I have actually decorated that simple sentence with all these negative patterns. And now I'm seeing that simple pattern with all these negative decorations, and it is looking so ugly to me. So it is my creation. I did not see the sentence or the situation as it actually exists. So what I am adding is my doing, and nobody else can do anything about it. Now, this addition, I call it a masala. So that masala which I'm putting, whether I put a good masala or a bad masala, will be my creation. Whether I make the same dish okay and take things as it comes and look at it, maybe he didn't like it. Maybe he doesn't like this color on me. And that's it. And next sentence, maybe across it. Why this? You don't like this color on me? It's okay. So, guys, what you are adding is your doing. And that, as I said, I call it a masala. So what masala you're putting, just be aware of it. वो masala अच्छा है या अच्छा नहीं है. So that you have to decide. Okay. So now we have looked into, and this masala also, the Suvira says, you do have a point, but when you are younger, you are not empowered by this spiritual understanding, and by the time this knowledge comes to you, a lot of water has. I agree there. And Suvira, that is why, and I'm sure what you have shared, a lot of people have gone through the same thing. Rather, most of us have gone through the same thing. But Suvira, that's why maybe we are talking about this today, so that we understand how patterns are formed. And also, I also want to say that in case you are parents now, so you can actually bring awareness in your children about this. That whatever your body is talking to you has a lot of truth in it. So when your body is creating the heaviness, look into it. Don't. Yeah. Thank you, Suvira. Thank you. So you as a parent now, because you are bringing in wisdom, you will bring in wisdom to the next generation. So you can bring forth this understanding in children that it's a natural embedded pattern in us, this awareness that my body is telling me by getting heavy, by feeling hurt, by having that kind of a stress or a tightness in my in my physiological pattern, it is giving me a warning that something is not right. So that signal, in case you share it with your children, that your body tells you, and connect to it. What is it telling? Why is it telling? And body tells you the truth. That inner voice and the physical voice has a lot of has a lot of depth in what it's connecting to. Okay, so now I'll tell you another example of about the reaction thing. I used to be working with school children. We used to deal with this. We used to do these open workshops for how to deal with the stresses. Thank you, Bhavna. How to deal with the stresses, and I must share this with you. This was a child in eighth. This girl, she younger sister, uh, uh, almost I think there was the difference. This girl was about 14 years. When you are, yeah, in eighth you are about 14, so she was 14 years old and her younger sister was just 6 years old. Now the thing was that when the younger sister, when she came in her life, uh, till that time she was enjoying all the attention of her parents and especially her father. Girl sister came in their life, so the parents started sharing whatever was there, and somehow she built that hatred towards her younger sister. And so drop of the hat, she used to complain about her all the time, to her parents, that she hasn't done this right, or she's troubling her, she's not letting her study. So she used to enjoy the younger sister getting a scolding from the parents. So when we used to do these workshops, so over the period of time, the children became more and more aware of what is correct, what is not correct. So there was a Diwali holiday, and after Diwali holiday, when these children came back, so we asked them to share their experience if they felt that something they did differently now. So this child, call her Rohini for the convenience. So this child, she actually shared this with us, that she had a tab. So her younger sister must be wanting to open and play with it. But since it had a password and she could not open it, she kept on trying and it got locked. So normally Rohini, what she would have done was, her mother was not at home at that time. What she would have done was, she would have actually, that is what she said, that I normally would have just slapped her and also warned her that when mom comes, I'm going to. But that day she said ki somehow I did not slap her, and I just told her to leave the room. So she said she quietly sat and looked into how to retrieve that password, and she was calmer. She was able to remember because she had forgotten actually. So she kept on thinking, and when she was calmer, because she had asked her younger sister to move out, so she could retrieve that password and she could open the tab again, and she was okay with that. But the younger sister was actually expecting her to complain to the mother when she comes home, and the younger sister, to how she's going to uh, uh, what she is going to tell her mother, because she know that mom is going to scold me. So she was already building her story, and she was using all that energy in building that story, how to defend herself. Now when mom came home, Rohini did not share this information with the mother, and this, the younger one, was very surprised by it. But what was so beautiful was when the anger of the mother did not come forth and the anger of Rohini did not come forth. So suddenly the younger sister didn't know, with all that defense which she had built up, she didn't know what to do. So suddenly what she did was, she made a small card and said sorry. And Rohini said that this has never happened. Uh, we and we talked about this during that session, and like Rohini, all along, every time she slapped her sister, she wanted to send a message across that you are not supposed to do this. But the day she did not react, she did not slap her, whatever message you wanted to give to the younger one, it went across so beautifully. So what happens is that we when something comes and a lot of negativity inside, so we are building layers after layer to that emotion to defend ourselves, and we say no, no, we are not like this. No, no, this is not true. So we are building we are so using so much of energy to defend ourselves. But in case we just let ourselves be calm and look into it, whether it is correct or not correct, whether the other person is saying it is true or not true, why am I being told I'm which he is throwing or she is throwing? It is like indirectly I say I have given my remote to somebody. That person picks up the remote, and whenever they want to, they can hurt me, they can make me. Nobody has to take my remote. Why? I have to take back that remote. I have to keep it with me. Why is it that somebody else has a button to make me feel whatever they want to make me feel? Because they throw a bait and I fall for it. But why? Why do I believe what the other person? So over here, that true and fine, thank you, because now I'll work on it if it is not true. So it's okay. I mean, that person looked away. Okay, and as I was mentioning earlier, I'll also request most of the parents, in case you can teach your children to connect to more being happy, in harmony, in body and mind, and not look for something which is superficial, gives a charge of happiness for a short while, and start listening to their inner voice. It's not correct, something is heavy, so it's not mind, so that they can take a action to resolve it. And so today we there is another thought which I would like to which I had read, and it is it's so correct actually. I want to ask you people, why do uh, footwears, why do we wear shoes on our feet? I would like you guys to answer that, and then I'll take it forward. Why do we wear shoes or footwear? I would like you guys to answer, and then I'll wrap up. Why do we wear footwears? Why do we wear shoes? Anybody? Uh, is there anybody who's going to react to these questions or answer? Why do we wear shoes, guys? हम जूते क्यों पहनते हैं पैरों में? क्या रीज़न होता है? What is the reason that we wear shoes? I think most of us are going to say that we want to protect our feet. So once we want shoes and we protected our feet and we walk out, do you all along say that um why is this place wet, or why is there's a dirt on the road? Hello? Yeah. ऑफ हो गई थी? Okay, okay. Can you hear me, guys? Because somebody, Mridula, is saying her network has, I think, is down. Can you hear me, guys? Give me some kind of a signal. No, I'm not getting a reaction over here also. मेरा नहीं. फिर okay.